Hello, Grand Park. It's Courtney. Welcome to your Yoga Ala retreat. I'm really glad you're here today to practice with us. And we're going to focus on the breath this week. So we'll be moving as we always do, but we'll be thinking and setting some intentions with breath. And I think I've brought this book into our practice before. This is a book by James Nestor, who's a journalist who spoke with a lot of different breath professionals in all different areas of expertise. And one of the chapters he talks about the benefits of a slow breath. When we breathe slowly, our carbon dioxide rises, our blood pressure lowers. And there's just a line that I thought was really interesting that I would like to share with you. So he's talking about taking longer breaths, allowing our lungs to soak up more. And he says, I realized that breathing was like rowing a boat. Taking a zillion short and stilted strokes will get you where you're going, but they pale in comparison to the efficiency and speed of a fewer, longer strokes. So I don't know if any of you have ever kayaked or rowed a boat before, but it really is a great metaphor because we can get somewhere by like taking short breaths or taking short strokes, but we also glide and we go farther when we take longer strokes. So we're going to slow down the breath today. And in yoga, this is called pranayama, so breath constraint. Prana means life force or breath, and a yama is a restraint. So we're going to be focusing to start on slowing down the breath, and we'll try to keep that slow breath as we move through our physical practice today. So let's just come to a seat, resting your palms somewhere on your lap, settling your shoulders away from your ears. And just come to notice the way that you're breathing right now. So are you breathing really shallowly? So not judging it, just noticing. And the way that we breathe is very often the way that we feel. So see if you can give yourself just a few conscious, luxurious, long breaths, and just notice maybe the benefits of feeling present, of slowing down, of arriving. Allowing breath to fully move into your lungs, fully release from your lungs. And we're going to focus particularly on our exhales today. So see if you can start to exhale even longer than you're inhaling. So most of us are pretty good inhalers and pretty not so great exhalers. So can you start to become aware of your exhales and really slow and lengthen those out? So I'm going to count us through just a few rounds of breath. We're going to inhale for a count of 4 and pause. And then we'll exhale for a count of 6 and pause. So go ahead, let your air come all the way out of your body. Deep, slow inhale through your nose for 2, 3, 4. Pause your breath. And then exhale 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Pause out. Inhale 2, 3, 4. Pause breath. Exhale 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Press out. Inhale, 2, 3, 4, pause breath. Exhale, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, hold out. And then just start to bring in conscious breaths, finding a cycle that can work for you in your physical practice today. So just establishing how you're going to breathe. I'll keep reminding us of this slow, full breath as we practice together. If your eyes are closed, flutter them open. And then let's start standing today. So finding yourself stacking your heels under your hips. We'll just start to connect some breath with movement here. So grounding your feet down, maybe even lifting your toes, spreading them out, gluing your feet to the mat, thighs pressed back, hips under shoulders, palms come out to the sides. And then as you inhale, rise your arms tall to the sky. As you exhale, join your palms together and pull them into your heart. A few more rounds like that. Inhale, arms rise tall. Exhale, join palms, pull into heart. 2 more times. Inhale, arms rise. Exhale, hands to heart. Inhale, arms rise. Exhale, hands to heart. Moving on to Sun A. Inhale, rise up, maybe look up. Full exhale, fold in half. Let your head go. Inhale, hands to shins, heart reaches forward, head away from tail. Exhale, full release, forward fold. Inhale, draw your arms tall, maybe look up. Exhale, hands come to heart. 2 more rounds just like that. Inhale, rise arms. Exhale, fold in half, let head go. Inhale, halfway lift, head away from tailbone. Exhale, forward fold, release your head. Inhale, draw your arms tall, maybe look up. Exhale, hands to heart. Inhale, arms draw tall. Exhale, forward fold, let your head melt towards the earth. Inhale, halfway lift, flat back. Exhale, forward fold, release your head. Inhale, draw your arms tall. We'll keep the arms up. Ground down into right foot, grab right wrist with your left hand. And then on your inhale, press into your right foot, reach up and over to the left. So really establishing breath here. When we stretch the side body, we can contract the breath. So see if you can notice that. Send really full breaths from your left heel all the way up and out of your right fingertips. Next, inhale, come back to center. Ground down into your left foot. Grab your right wrist with your left wrist with your right hand. Press into your left foot and reach up and over to the right. So breathing, breathing, breathing along the left side body. Shoulders are away from ears, jaw is soft. Feet, especially the left foot, is grounded to the earth. Inhale back to center. And then draw your hands to your hips. Let's sink our hips back for our first chair pose. So like you're gonna sit back in a little itty bitty chair. Weight is in the heels, toes are light. You can even lift your toes up, scoop your belly back into your spine. Shoulders reach out and away from the ears. Fingertips reach out and away from the shoulders. Find your breath. Notice if the breath got short, trapped. Really focusing on those exhales, especially to press out stale energy. And then the next time you exhale, forward fold. Inhale, halfway lift. Hands come down to earth. Let's step ourselves back for our first plank pose. So plank can be knees down or knees up. Fingers are wide. We're pressing up out of the shoulders. Belly is scooping up into spine. Head is in line with your neck. So we're not looking up. We're looking down at the earth. If the legs are up, pull up through your belly strength. And then as you exhale, hips come up and back, downward facing dog. Looking towards your hands, right foot steps for the right hand, back foot spins flat. Press down into your feet, rise yourself up. Warrior one, right hip reaching back, right knee stacked over the right ankle. Shoulders melt down. Notice what's happening in the breath. And instead of breathing those short breaths that almost send us into a little state of panic, can you fill this shape with slow, full inhales and exhales? The next time you exhale, use the whole exhale to release out of this pose. Step your right foot back, downward facing dog. Inhale, the left foot steps, back foot spins flat to a 45 degree. Left knee is stacked over left ankle. Press into your feet. Rise yourself up. Left hip slightly reaches back. Outer edge of your back right foot presses down. Rise your heart, shoulders melt, steady your gaze. And then notice what the breath is doing here. Can you breathe those slow, full, supportive breaths? And at any point, if you notice that the breath isn't able to do that, you can always come into child's pose and regroup your breath there. On your next exhale, let the whole exhale take your hands down, step your left foot back, downward facing dog. Take a couple breaths here, exploring in your down dog. You can bend your knees any amount. The heart is reaching back for the thighs, the knuckles are pressing down, armpits are hugging in, head is released. Do warrior one on each side. We're going to add a little something. So looking towards your hands, right foot steps for right hand, back foot spins flat. Press down, rise yourself up. And then from here, we're going to grab the left wrist with the right hand again, and we're going to reach up and over to the right. So finding some space on the left hip here. Keep grounding down into your feet. Notice what's happening in the breath. Slow it down. Inhale back to center. Grab your right wrist with your left hand. Reach up and over to the left. Inhale back to center. Interlace your hands. We're going for a little bit of strength today. You can extend your right leg if you need a break. Hands reach back towards your left ankle. If the arms and shoulders don't like this, You can grab opposite elbow instead of the interlace, and then we'll fold the heart forward, letting your neck go, letting the breath flow. Take one more full cycle of breath. Inhale, press down, rise yourself up, warrior one. And then exhale, hands come down, right foot steps back, downward facing dog. Step your left foot for your left hand, back foot spins flat, press down, rise up. We're in our warrior one, left hip reaching back. From here, we'll grab the left wrist with the right hand, and then we'll reach up and over to the left. So finding some breaths into your upper right hip, into the right side body, steady your gaze. Inhale back to center, grab your left wrist with your right hand, and then reach up and over to the right. How's your breath? Coming back to center, you can extend your left leg if you need a little bit of reprieve. Interlace your hands or grab opposite elbows, puff up your chest, send your interlace or your elbows down towards your right heel, and then fold your heart inside your left leg. Let your head go, let your breath flow here. Notice the tendency with the breath and see if you can change the dialogue of the mind by slowing down, finding those more efficient strokes. Take one more inhale, exhale. Inhale, press into your feet, find your warrior one. Exhale, hands come down to earth, really strong, really good, you all. Step your left foot back. Find yourself in your downward facing dog. You can come down to child's pose if your breath is not stable. Option to stay in child's pose and rest, or join us in down dog. And then walking your hands back for your feet, forward fold, let your head be heavy. And then pressing into your feet, roll yourself up to a stand. Let's find our mountain pose. So we'll just take a moment of pause to reestablish breath. Shoulders melt down, shoulders stack over hips, over heels. We're going to come into a couple balance poses. So we'll start with tree. We'll start on the left leg today. If you know that balance is going to be a challenge for you, or maybe you're feeling a little emotional today, you might choose to place yourself at a wall. So left foot grounds down, hands come to the hips. Steady your gaze on a point. And then the right foot gets light, right foot rests at your ankle of the left foot, left leg. You can place your left hand to a wall. Soften your jaw and expand your breath here. Really focusing on those exhales. You're welcome to stay where you are if you want to challenge your balance a little bit. Foot can come to the calf, foot can come to the inner thigh. Press the leg into the foot. Remember, you can come to a wall. And if you do one of those poses with the foot on the leg and you fall out and you realize balance is not really a thing for you today, take it down. Take care of yourself. Hands come to your heart. Or you can keep your hands at the wall or the hips. And then we're going to add another standing balance here. So knee is going to come forward. We're going to release the foot from the leg. If you have the foot at the ankle, maybe just bend your knee a little bit and lift your foot a little bit. And then option to stay here. If you want to play with even more balance, left hand comes to the outside of your right knee, and then the left arm either comes back or you can rest it on the back of, on your low back or the base of your spine. So shoulders away from ears. We're in a standing twist. Pretty challenging. You can lower the foot down to the floor. The standing foot is strong. Grounding down, finding breath. Notice if breath ceased and fill it back in. And then we'll release out of this side. Really nice, you all. I think that was a new pose for us. So option to come to a wall, resting your right hand at the wall. We'll ground down, get stable through our right foot. The right thigh presses back slightly. Hands come to your hips. Steady your gaze point on a single speck or point to steady your focus. And before you even move into the other side, establish that slow, supportive breath. When you're ready, left foot comes to the right ankle. Remember, you can rest your right hand at a wall. Keep grounding down into your right standing foot and leg. And then deciding if you're going to stay here or keep pressing into the right foot. Maybe left foot comes to the calf. Maybe left foot comes to the inner thigh. Press the leg into the foot, everything hugging in. Maybe right hand comes to a wall. Keep grounding down into your right standing foot. How's your breath? Support the pose by those long strokes of breath. From here, we're going to come into that second balance pose. Maybe hand comes to a wall for a little added support. Left knee comes in to face forward. You can have your left toe tapped down, or the left knee can reach up to hip height. And then we'll add the right hand to the outside of the, right hand to the outside of the left thigh. Start to look to the side, placing your back hand, your left hand at the base of the spine, or you can extend and reach your arm out. Keep pressing down into your standing leg. Keep flowing the breath. If you fall, you fall, and you tried something. And then next, exhale, release out. Really, 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 really great. Okay, ground down into your feet, mountain pose. We're gonna wash all that out with one sun salutation. So really connecting this to the breath. Let your exhale fall out. As you inhale, draw your arms up. Maybe you look up. Exhale, fold your heart, release your head. Inhale, halfway lift, flat back. Exhale, fold your heart, release your head. Inhale, draw your arms tall to sky. Exhale, hands come to heart. One more standing sequence. Sink your hips back. We're finding our chair pose, reaching your arms out from your shoulders, scooping your belly back to your spine. Make sure you can see your toes. If not, send your hips back. And then draw your hands into your heart in a gesture of prayer. Right elbow crosses up and over left thigh. Press your prayer together. Send your heart up towards your prayer. Maybe stack your elbows. Gazing to the side, steadying the gaze, and then checking in with the breath. So it's usually pretty hard to breathe in a twist. So can you breathe even slower, even deeper? Inhale back to your chair pose, lengthening and extending your legs if you need. Drawing your hands to your heart. This time, left elbow crosses up and over the right thigh. Stack your elbows, press your prayer together. Send your gaze over to the right. And then breath, breath, breath. Nice and slow. Inhale back, chair pose. Last one today. Exhale, forward fold. Release your head. Take your feet at least hips distance, maybe a little wider. Find a bend in your knees. Let your head go. Option to tap your fingertips to the earth. If that doesn't happen, maybe grabbing opposite elbow. Maybe closing your eyes and just letting the breath flow in. Taking your feet at least a little wider than the hips. If they're not, toes go out, heels come in. Sink your hips down, Yogi Squat. So this is not for everybody. If your heels are way up, you might want to double up your mat or stack a blanket or a towel underneath your heels. That will draw the floor closer to you. If the knees are in pain here, please just come to a seat on your bottom. Drawing your hands together, rising your heart up. Settling your shoulders away from your ears. We breathe, breathe, breathe. Nice, slow, full breaths. Slowing down our internal system by slowing down the breath. Left hand comes down, right arm reaches tall, open twist. Maybe you look up. If you're seated on your bottom, you could still participate in this open twist. Hands come back to center. This time, right hand goes down, left arm reaches up. Maybe you glance up towards your left hand. Draw your hands back to center. Find more length in your spine, head reaching away from tail. And then take your hands behind you, sit down unless you already are. Soles of feet come together, knees come wide. Take your feet in as close as you can still breathe. So the closer the feet are in, the more intense the stretch on the inner thighs will be. We don't want to find a place of force. We want to find a space where we feel tension and we can meet it with our breath. So let's rise our heart tall. Option to stay here. Or as you exhale, start to fold your heart like it could go beyond your toes. And then bow your chin into your chest. Maybe some gentle pressure of elbows to inner thighs, but that is just a suggestion that might not be in your body in your practice today. So the yoga practice is a practice of deep listening, and the breath tells us a lot about what is happening in our body and in our experience. So can you listen to what the breath is asking of you? It might mean to back out. It might mean to move a little bit further. On your next inhale, rise yourself up. Left foot stays in, right leg extends out. The The right foot is flexed back towards the face. Hands come to frame your extended right leg. Right shoulder is reaching back, so we're in a twist here. Listen to what's happening in the back of your right leg. So if it's really tight here, you could bend your knee a little bit. You could slide a pillow or a blanket or a towel underneath the back of your hamstring. And then option to stay here, stretching into the back of the leg, finding that twist, or any amount. I'm not going to move very far today. Folding your heart towards your right pinky toe. So there's a twist to create some opening and stretch in the mid-back. And of course, there's stretch happening all along the hamstring and the back of the leg. Bow your chin into your chest. And then can you row those slow, steady breaths? Can you make those exhales even longer than the inhale? On your next inhale, rise yourself up. Right hand goes inside the right leg. And then we'll reach the left arm out, and then the left arm reaches up and over the left ear. The heart is reaching up. So the goal isn't to touch the hand to the foot, although if you can keep the heart and the gaze up, if you have that space, you're welcome to do that. We're getting stretch along the left side body. We're opening the heart towards the sky. And then inhale, rise yourself back to center. We'll switch the direction of the legs. So right foot comes in, left leg extends out. Let's just take a pause, see what's happening in the back of the left leg today. So different hamstrings might be different. You can bend your knee, you can put a towel or a blanket or a pillow as a support underneath the back of your left hamstring. Left shoulder reaches back, find that twist. The heart is reaching towards extending towards the left pinky toe. Find your breath here. See what the breath is telling you about what's happening in your body. And then work with the breath. So if you have space, you can fold your heart towards your left pinky toe, any amount. Keep that left shoulder reaching back to stretch back the right part of your mid-back. And then slow down the breath here. On your next inhale, lift yourself up. Right hand goes inside, left hand goes inside the left leg. Right arm goes out to the right. Reach your right arm up and over towards your toes. Heart is reaching up. So we're getting into the right side body. We're finding breath, space, length. Inhale back to center. Extend both your legs out from your hips, making that L pose. And then we'll support ourselves here. So if the legs are really tight today, you might come to sit up on a pillow or a blanket. That will just create more space in the backs of the legs. If you don't need that, you don't need that. Rise your heart, find tall spine. And then send your heart any amount for your toes. Hands come to frame along the legs or around the feet. And then bow your chin into your chest. We're going to take 10 full breaths here. And we're going to focus on really lengthening out those exhales. So let your exhale fall out. Through your nose, inhale. Through your nose, exhale. Through your nose, inhale. Through your nose, big exhale. Through your nose, inhale. Through your nose, big exhale. Through your nose, inhale. Through your nose, big exhale. Through your nose, inhale. Through your nose, big exhale. 5 more slow breaths. Through your nose, inhale. Through your nose, long exhale. Through your nose, inhale. Through your nose, long exhale. Through your nose, inhale. Through your nose, long exhale. Through your nose, inhale. Through your nose, long exhale. 2 more full breaths. Through your nose, inhale. Through your nose, long exhale. Through your nose, inhale. Through your nose, long exhale. Inhale, draw yourself up. Bend your knees, soles of the feet come to the earth. Arms reach out from the sides. Scoop your belly into your spine. Take a big inhale through your nose. And then as you exhale, roll yourself down using the strength of your belly to set your spine one piece at a time onto the mat. Really nice. Hug your knees in. Grab either the outsides of the feet or the backs of the thighs. Kick your feet up towards the sky. Low back stays down. So this pose grounds the low back and opens the hips. Check out what the shoulders are doing. Send the shoulders away from your ears. Find those slow, steady inhales and exhales through your nose. Take 2 more full cycles of breath. And then releasing yourself into a comfortable position on your back. So maybe soles of feet on the earth, knees bent. Maybe you extend your legs out for traditional Shavasana, palms up. And let's just check in with the shoulders. Notice if they're kind of scrunched up by the ears. Physically send them down, maybe even tuck them underneath you slightly. Hands can rest on your belly, hands can rest to the sides, palms up. Go ahead and close your eyes. We're just going to take 3 final inhales, exhales, and then we'll take our rest. So let your exhale come all the way out of your body. Through your nose, draw in breath. Through your nose, release breath. Through your nose, draw in breath. Through your nose, release breath. Through your nose, draw in breath. Through your nose, release breath. And then letting go of any control you've taken over your breath. Allowing your feet to fully release and relax. Allowing your legs to soften. Your hips and your back to release into the floor. Arms are heavy at your side. Jaw is soft, face is soft, and we'll just take about a minute of rest here. So just giving yourself this time to let the body breathe itself and to receive the benefits of your practice. Starting to bring awareness back to your breath. Starting to find small movements in your fingers and your toes. Maybe reaching the arms up and overhead. And then eventually rolling over to your right side, making a little pillow for your head with your inner arm. And then pressing yourself up to a comfortable seat. Resting your palms down on your thighs or in your lap, softening your eyes closed. And we'll just finish with one slow breath together. So let your exhale come out. Through your nose, draw in breath. Through your nose, release your breath. Drawing your hands in a gesture at your heart, bowing your chin into the wisdom of your heart. And maybe just notice this week how the breath affects the way you feel. And if you notice yourself pedaling fast, maybe take even just one slow inhale and exhale. Thank you so much for practicing with me today. The light in me sees and acknowledges the light in you. Thank you, Grand Park. Slow those breaths down, and I'll see you again soon.